here the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
Okay, so we're back. This episode is on In the Heat of the Night. Of course, that's the 1967 mystery crime film starring, obviously, Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger in the two main roles. Before we get into impressions of the film, I wanted to read one 5-star review we have this week, which is from BC Girl 123. The title is Awesome. Quote, so happy that I found this podcast. All the guys are super funny and informative. The soul food episode had me dying of laughter at work. Keep up the great work. 5 stars. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that person is from Canada. So,
Is that from BC, British Columbia?
Probably British
there
Columbia.
you go.
That's my guess. So thank you for that 5-star review. Remember, as long as they're 5 stars, we will read them on air. All right. So let's get impressions for the movie. We'll start with Micah and then go to Terrence.
This movie was actually really good. I enjoyed it far more than I thought I would, actually. Everybody remembers the Mr. Tibbs line.
Right, it's the most famous. What is it? Well, actually, I don't know if you're getting ready to tell
I mean,
us.
it might be one of the greatest lines in cinema.
Well, it's rated. I saw a thing on Wikipedia. It's rated like number 16 greatest movie lines in the last.
Is it?
I mean, at the time, it was pretty profound. Of like, listen, white man, they don't call me boy. They call me by my.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of a big deal, but yeah, it was.
But the delivery was kind of weird. Let's just put it out there. The delivery was
It's
kind of
weird.
weird.
We can all.
They call me Mr. Tibbs. It's like,
But I mean, in fairness, Sidney Poitier has an interesting way of talking. Period.
He does.
He's a great actor, but yeah, he has kind of an interesting way of talking.
Yeah, he has a very interesting way of talking, but you know what? I dig it. And he is straight up, like, he's super black. He's blackety black.
Yeah, he is.
But doesn't sound blackety black. You know,
Not stereotypically, no.
Not stereotypically. And he was blacker than I thought he would be in this movie. Like,
big. You said that quite a few times. Like, oh, okay.
But yeah, man, yeah, it was a very good movie, very decent mystery. Mm-hmm. Acting was hit or miss sometimes, but for the most part, it was very good. Some of them guys, I didn't think they were acting.
No.
Yeah. Boy and nigger just kind of rolled right off the tongue, man. Like, it was.
Are you an actor? Sure, I am.
But yes, I am.
Boy, go to the craft service table, boy, and fetch me some cheese or whatever.
Whatever they have there.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would.
And did you have a score?
3.5, 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
Okay, Terrence.
It took me, I watched part of it and fell asleep. But then I got back up and watched the rest of it. Then I watched it again because I kind of missed a lot of stuff too. The second time around, I actually dug it more than the first time. The acting, like when we do these older movies,
It's hard. It can be hard.
acting styles have changed drastically
They have.
from back in the day to now. Like, it feels like acting in older movies.
It feels like a play in a lot of ways.
The delivery of a lot of lines in older movies, they just don't feel right. Like, even sometimes when Sidney Poitier was giving speeches or he was talking, there were certain times I'm like, that just sounds like a line. But then other times when he was kind of like calm, he just sounded like he was just talking. The acting, like you said, is hit and miss. A lot of miss for me personally because I just don't necessarily like that acting style. The mystery, I had to watch it twice because I missed stuff. Mm-hmm. But once I saw it and once I watched it the second time and it fleshed everything out, okay, that does make sense. There's a lot of bigotry, racism thrown out, and I don't necessarily appreciate that too much. I was getting a little pissed off. But the movie itself, I thought the cinematography was pretty decent.
I actually really liked it.
Right. For like something back in 67, I'm like,
67.
this is different. Like, it feels like it's artistic, as opposed to other movies. I dug that, and like I like the movie. I actually do like the movie. I could watch it again, even after knowing what happened. I would probably give it a 4, honestly. I really liked it the second time around.
Yeah, so for me, it sort of echoes what the both of you were saying. The cinematography, I thought, that actually stood out to me too. It was
I noticed, I'm like, that's different.
Like, wow, this is, it was actually like really well shot moments. And I thought, I agree, the acting was a little hit or miss, but I do think that's very true about the acting styles over time. Like, that's something that I've noticed the further we go back in films, and I just kind of chalk that up to the timing and not necessarily their skill as actors. It's just, sometimes it's like, we need to make sure that we are acting to and it feels like a play in a lot of ways.
Right, because the same actors, if you watch them in something like from like 80s and 90s, it's just,
it
changes and they're fine.
Right.
But like in these particular movies, I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, it just all feels very like by the book.
Like staccato.
Yeah, very staccato speech patterns. So it's that part is absolutely true. I agree with you. Now, as far as the mystery itself, I didn't know like the culprit of the whole thing, and we won't give it away early. Like we'll actually kind of go through it. But I didn't realize who the culprit was pretty much until they showed the guy. I was like, damn, this is a pretty good mystery.
And I've never seen the movie before either.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've already seen like clips, like the Call Me Mr. Tibbs thing. Yeah. But it was kind of interesting because a lot of modern movies, Mike and I were talking about this offline before, like a lot of modern movies, they just give away the villain. Like it's super obvious. It's like, hey guys, I'm Steve. And it's like, dan, dan, dan. And you're like, I guess that's the guy then.
Like, they do it in the trailers now, man.
Yeah, they give it away in the trailer. And it's like, well, yeah, it's the guy with the shaded, like, devious look. That's the villain. He's like, no, I'm a good guy. Oh, okay. I believe you. So, like, to the credit of the movie, they do a really good job of kind of keeping it neutral, like, right up until the end. Even the reveal, I was like, I'm not sure who that is. Oh.
Right, and that's why I watched it twice. I'm like, how the fuck does that even make sense?
Right, but
I missed stuff, and then when I watched it, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and they do a good job, like, kind of showing you the thread, the through lines and stuff, which I thought was cool. It did win the Academy Award for Best Picture in '67, which I mean, I don't know what else came out, but this was a damn good movie.
Yeah.
It still holds up today, which I think is important. Obviously, it spawned the TV show by the same name, but it also spawned 2 sequels to this movie, which I did not know.
Yeah. He did like 2.
They Call Me
like
Mr. Tibbs. Is one of the.
Wait, what?
They Call Me Mr. Tibbs is the sequel, is the second, and then there's
Sidney Poitier in that too.
Yes, he's in all 3.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, no idea about that. I read that, I was like, kind of want to watch these other movies, but clearly they're not nearly as good, right? They're not directed by the same director, Norman Jewison, who did this.
Is he Jewish?
Yes, I would assume. I would assume he is.
His name is Jewison.
It's right. It's like if my name was like Jay Blackson. Like, is he black? Yeah, he's black. Turns out. But incidentally, so as I was watching this, I was like, wow, this is kind of reminiscent of Soldier Story.
Yeah.
Which was also directed by Norman Jewison.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, the lead of A Soldier Story, I can't remember the actor's name. The black,
he was in the Heat of the Night.
He plays Sidney Poitier's character in Heat of the Night.
Right.
Yeah. So, I just thought that was kind of funny. I was like, he just kind of works with all the same people.
Right.
Good for him.
It's the same damn story, but that's cool.
Yeah, look, it's fine. Like, one was on a military base, and it was racist. This one is in a town that military base is probably in. Was it in Sparta? It was in Mississippi.
It might have been. It might have been.
Same damn place.
You know what? I kind of want to think that they're in the same universe, and it's just, this is the town that military base is in, and they're just like, that's another case. Like, it's fine.
It's the NJEU. The Jewish and Extended Universe.
I would watch that. The guy's got solid movies. Right?
He does.
So, all right, so let's go through it. The movie opens up with this cop, Officer Wood, sitting in a diner across from some guy, I can't remember his name, Ralph, who works there, and they're just like, it's late night, so they're just talking or whatever, and Ralph's like, oh, do you want a free piece of pie or whatever?
Like, first of all, no. That place is fucking disgusting.
That place was filthy. 1967, hot as shit Mississippi. It is not a place anyone wants to go.
Like flies on the. I'm like,
Yeah, he opens up the case and there's a fly, and I was like, I'm good, thanks, I'm out. Nobody needs that ever. So Wood leaves the diner, and he goes and drives off on like sort of patrol, and he kind of diverts off of his patrol. At least you get that sense to down the street. And he like turns his lights off and he like starts driving slow. And I'm like, well, what are you up to, buddy? Nobody drives with their lights on. It's not a drive-by.
Like, I do not trust cars driving by my house slow. Like I'm always like, what are these motherfuckers doing?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, look, I've seen Friday enough. I know what's going to happen. So he drives slow by this house, and just randomly, there's a woman in there drinking a Coca-Cola, naked, just hanging out with all the lights on.
Right.
And she's, I was like, okay, this movie is taking a turn I had not expected.
Like, am I watching it right now?
Right, exactly. It's like you fast forward, like, is Sidney Poitier even in this film? What movie is this? But so he drives by this woman's house, and he's like, kind of looking, like checking it out, not even being that covert about it, like beep beep, I'm outside.
It's like 2 a.m.
Yeah, and she's kind of getting her kicks out of it, right? Like she's just standing there, she knows what's up. And so then Wood drives off after getting his looks, and he drives off and he drives back into town, and he stops and he gets out, and there's a body laying in front of his car, which, like, how did you even see it? I was just driven right over it.
Yeah. Oops.
Was that a bottle? What was that?
Put a speed bump in the
I don't remember this being in town. So he gets out, luckily before riding over this body, and he sees it's a dead body, and it's the body of this, I don't think he knows who it is at the time. And so he's like looking over the body, the person is clearly dead, and so he calls for a backup, and then the scene sort of transitions to a bunch of cops being there, and like a guy taking pictures of the body and what have you. So one of the guys who shows up is Chief Bill Gillespie, played by Rod Steiger, who, if you don't know what Rod Steiger looks like, that's fine. Just imagine Carol O'Connor from the TV show, aka Archie Bunker, because he looks exactly the same.
Yeah, and they got him for In the Heat of the Night, the show.
Yeah, Carol O'Connor, right. So it's just like, yeah, I wonder why they picked him. Because one, Carol O'Connor was a good actor, and two, yeah, they look exactly the same. They're like interchangeable.
That dude was from Brooklyn.
Carol
and you
O'Connor.
Rod Steiger.
And you could tell that he was not from the South.
Oh, really? I thought he did a
was
pretty
dipping in and out. Did you?
Oh, I guess I just didn't notice that.
Like, no. Like, I couldn't tell he was from New York, but I could tell he wasn't Southern. I'm like, you're trying real hard, but it ain't really working out.
Did Sidney Poitier sound like he was from Philadelphia?
I don't know how people from Philadelphia sounded in 1967.
They sound. I imagine they sound a lot like people from Baltimore in 1967.
Oh, well, no, then definitely not. definitely not. So they kind of they realize that who the dead body is, right? It's this guy, Mr. Colbert, who is building. He's a big time like rich guy in the town who's building a factory that's supposed to hire like 1,000 workers or whatever. So what kind of factory? Who knows? A factory. They make something expensive, and so they're all like really concerned, like, oh my God, we got to find out who did this because this guy's a real important guy. And so when they do a thing like, this is like Southern justice, which I thought was just kind of funny. They're like, there's got to be a hitchhiker around here. Like, why does it have to be someone out of the town? Like, it's probably someone in the town. They're like, no, it's got to be somebody leaving town. I was like, okay, that seems odd.
Nobody in our town would commit a murder.
Like, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like, okay. Yeah, no, spoiler alert. Yes, they did. So they're like, oh, we got to see if there's a hitchhiker or something like that.
Injury was supposed to be like a blow to the head. There wasn't nothing wrong with that dude's head at all. They're like, yeah, his head is caved in. I'm like, no, it's not.
Well, that's a very 1967 thing. Like, we don't have the budget to show that. Yeah, if this was 2016, they would have been like, zoom in, show the damage.
Yeah.
67, they're just like, it's implied.
Yeah, his head is caved in, but like, I'm sitting there looking at it right now.
Like, no, that's just a guy. I'm pretty sure that guy is breathing. He's not a really good actor. So then Wood is sent off. Gillespie's like, go and see if there's any hitchhikers. I'm like,
How do you even do that?
Yeah, they just go to the edges of town.
Start
Is
wandering.
there a guy? But so Wood's like, all right. So he like goes off to the train station to see if there's anybody around there, like trying to get out of town. And he comes upon Tibbs, played by Sidney Poitier, and he's like sitting there, like chilling,
Reading a magazine.
like reading a magazine, the classic thing a murderer would do, in a suit. And he's like, hey, like get up against the wall or whatever. And he, harasses him and like, put your hands up against the wall so I can check it and all this other stuff. And he arrests him and like brings him in. It's like, just because he was a black dude sitting at a train station. That's literally it. He didn't do anything. No level of suspicion besides that.
That guy's a really good actor, because I totally believe that happened.
It was the most accurate cop portrayal you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the fact that he didn't get beaten to death is actually more surprising.
Well, yeah, you know what? You're right.
Or shot.
You're right.
Just shoot him immediately on contact.
Because he was reaching for something.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
actually did reach for something, but then he told him to put his hands on his
Yeah,
on the
that'd have
wall.
got you shot. Here's how I know this movie took place in 1967 in a movie and not in Baltimore in 2016 or anywhere else in America. So, so then we get a scene of Tibbs being taken to the police station. At this point, Tibbs has literally said nothing. I don't think he's had a single like stitch of dialogue, and he's just kind of like just biding his time to basically throw it in their face at the opportune moment. So they get back to the police station, and Woods is like, I got him. He was trying to leave town, like sitting reading a magazine. Got what? And so
The portrayal of the cops in this town.
oh,
They're a bunch of fucking idiots.
a bunch of goddamn buffoons. They literally arrest, I think, 3 or 4 wrong people in this movie. We got him. No, you ain't got him. We got him. No, you ain't got him. Like, oh.
Like, and what I like about the movie is that even characters within the movie realize the buffoonery that's going on in this police department.
I mean, not to fast forward later, but there's literally a character goes, what is going
That
on
was
with
one of
you
my
people?
favorite parts of the movie, by the way.
Yeah, she's like
so fucking pissed.
She's like, what is
what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
They are completely incompetent. It's like an entire police department run by like Barney Fifes. They have no idea what they're doing. Just morons. And so so Wood takes Tibbs into Gillespie, who's the chief of police, into his office. And Gillespie meets with Tibbs, and he's like, he like immediately Gillespie totally believes that it's Tibbs. He's like, yeah, look, you were trying to leave town. You're black. You're black. Like he didn't have anything. Nothing. Like, yeah, you're leaving town. Is that illegal? He was like, yeah, I was leaving on the 405 train. Aha, the 405 train.
Like, yeah, it's on Tuesdays it leaves at 4:05. It's like, oh.
You hear the train in the background. Oh, I guess you're right.
Oh, really? Was there a train?
I thought I
Yeah, there was a train. He could hit a train horn, and he's like, oh, so you say, okay. There you go.
You got me there. We'll see about the next
Like, but you still a nigga.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
that is very, very prominent. So Tibbs explains why he's in town to see his mother and why he was trying to get the hell out of there. He could have just said because of Sparta, Mississippi in 1967, which would have absolutely been a reasonable response. And, he has this wallet that has all this money in it, and it's like splayed out on the table.
Like $125.
Yeah. And so, of course, a black man, again, in 1967 with money in his pocket, it's like, this seems suspicious. So then there's a conversation between Tibbs and Gillespie as to what Tibbs does for a living. So we have that clip.
What? Did you question this man before you brought him in?
No, sir.
Do you mind taking a look at that? Yeah! Oh, yeah! All right, I'll check on this wise city boy from Philadelphia. You take him outside and hold him.
Yes, sir. May I suggest that you call my chief rather than send a wire or anything? I mean, it would be quicker, and I'll pay for the call.
You hear him? You hear him say he'd pay for the call? How much do they pay you to do their police work?
$162.39 per week.
$162.39 a week. Well, boy. You take him outside, Wood, but treat him easy because a man that makes $162.39 a week, man, we do not want to ruffle him.
No, sir.
The whole movie. Chief Gillespie is basically the black chief stereotype in every 80s cop movie.
Right, he was so mad. Like, everybody was, like, really angry in this movie.
It's hot. It's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
Mississippi in the 60s. His air conditioning didn't work. He was angry. He was Micah on a podcast.
There you go.
So,
hot in his room.
you can understand.
Oh, absolutely.
I get Gillespie.
I don't like people named Virgil either.
Well, that's because they do charge
Charge you
$50.
like $30 to take a picture with him.
So yeah, this is like the first, like right before that scene that we just showed is where there's too much silence, so that's why I didn't play it. But that's where Virgil's like, "I'm a police officer," and incidentally, he sounds a lot like my father-in-law, which is kind of funny. He does.
Like, and in that scene when he was actually telling him why he was there, I got a Denzel Washington feel. Not from the voice, but the acting itself.
Yes.
I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe Denzel kind of studied the Sidney Poitier.
He probably did.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one Negro of the moment in Hollywood, so I would not be surprised.
I mean, honestly, like looking over both of their careers, Denzel is definitely the Sidney Poitier of our generation. Like he absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Denzel Washington's in a movie. Well, I guess I'll see it then.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
I guarantee it.
That's one of the funniest YouTube videos I've ever
That's
seen.
just funny as hell.
He guarantees a lot of things.
I didn't realize that he said that so many times.
That's his
in
go-to.
every movie, basically.
Yeah, that's Denzel Washington's go-to. I guarantee it. So then, of course, Gillespie is completely embarrassed that they arrested a cop. Like, yeah, you look like a bunch of morons. Again, the Barney Fife crew fucks up yet again. So Wood takes Tibbs out of the room, and he basically makes a call. Gillespie makes a call to Tibbs's boss, his chief of police in Philadelphia, to verify that Tibbs isn't lying or whatever, which is understandable. And so he comes to find out that Tibbs is actually a police officer. All that was true. And that he found out that Tibbs is a homicide expert, specifically. And Tibbs's chief in Philadelphia says, "Hey, I want you to stay down there and help them solve this case."
What kind of bullshit-ass movie logic is that?
It's basically the same, isn't it the same plot as like Beverly Hills Cop? Except
What's the
for,
plot? I don't even remember the plot.
because like he was from Detroit and then he goes out to LA and then he talks to his chief on the phone. He's like, "Oh, I think his chief doesn't tell him to stay out there longer, but he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay out and help him solve this case." And he's like, of course, that black chief is like fucking pissed. And he's like, "You better hurry up, get back to Detroit where people are getting shot a lot."
Around our RoboCop statue.
Right. That's how bad it is here. But yeah, I think it's kind of the same.
Yeah, the same cop-out, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense
Hey,
whatsoever.
you're a homicide expert. Why don't you help the Barney Fife and Andy down in fucking Mayberry to solve a crime?
And oh yeah, I know you're black, and I know you're in rural Mississippi.
It should all work out for you. No, I'd be like, if I don't want my best cop to get murdered, you better get your ass on the first train back. Get out of here.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, like, no.
Oh, man.
Hey, why don't you stay down there? No.
Maybe they didn't like him.
Yeah.
Right.
Stay an extra week.
This uppity-ass Tibbs. Maybe we can get him. Maybe, look, if we leave him down there, maybe Mississippi will do us a favor.
Yeah. There's another story there, a side note of just him having a chief of police in Philly who hates his guts, wants him dead, keeps sending him to the worst parts of the United States. So then we get Gillespie actually kind of begging, and this isn't the first time this happens, begging him to stay, and he's like, "Come on, man, like we're dumb. Like,
Come on, boy."
Yeah, like
Right, stop calling me boy, please.
look, that is in some ways that like light touch racism bothers me more.
Like, I'd rather you call me a nigga.
Right, like at least
honestly.
at least I know where you're going. Like, all right, then we just have to throw down. Like, I understand that's fine. But like, boy, it's kind of like, don't do that. Because then you're like, oh, I didn't know I was being an asshole. Like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I'm not a boy. I'm a man. I remember somebody saying that to me when I was working like my first job, and I was like 19 or 20. They're like, oh yeah, you're a nice boy, and I looked right, and he's like, and we're actually friends now. He didn't mean it in that way, but he got corrected real quick. I was like, I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
Somebody told you you're a nice boy?
Yeah, I was like, I'm not a boy, I'm a man. And he was
were they 94 years old?
Right. And they gave me a piece of hard candy afterwards. It was just really weird. I was like,
I don't think I've ever had anyone do that to me.
Yeah, I've had someone say that.
Anybody do that?
Yeah, no,
Not call me boy.
No, I have a look of like, don't do that, permanently on my face. If I'm not smiling, like I look like I'm the angry Negro.
Well, yeah.
I'm trying to fix that, but that's my
Yeah,
face.
well, yeah. Try smarter, man.
Look, that's my face. I'm unapproachable apparently. Sometimes it works.
Look, we all have our shortcomings.
You got resting angry Negro face.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Angry black resting. It's like RBF. Resting black man face.
It's a thing.
That's what it is.
So Tibbs feels like, okay, my chief of police told me I gotta stay. So he stays. Gillespie takes Tibbs with him to go examine the body at the medical examiner's place, at the funeral home or whatever. One, this doctor is worthless. Okay,
Yeah.
This doctor's like, oh, I didn't know that. Rigor mortis? What's that? I'm like, this guy's a
Like
cop
when he
from
was
Philadelphia.
looking at
Is it that podunk down here? You ever
He
heard
was
of
looking
that?
at the body when it was in the street. He's like, he probably died maybe less than a half hour ago. Just by looking at it.
He's like, yeah,
It's about 2:30. I don't know.
I just want to go home.
I'm tired.
Just leave me alone.
Go to sleep.
But yeah, so and at this point, Tibbs is like looking at the body. He's like checking to see if rigor mortis is set in and all this other stuff. And he's like asking for all of these like special things he needs to examine the body, like ammonia and blah, 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 all these things. And it's just clear that Tibbs is profoundly smarter than everyone else in the room. And he kind of plays it up too. Yeah, he's showboating, and I'm like, go ahead, bro. Like, you go ahead. That's right. It's 1967. You tell him, man. And they just, again, the doctor doesn't know what he's doing.
They're looking at him with like such disgust, like,
This guy went to school.
fuck you.
Yeah, but you know what? Good. You are dumber than him. And you know, there's a line. There's a series of conversation that happens later that I could not imagine my response being any different than Tibbs, because of this whole thing of like being smarter than everyone else in the room, which he clearly is. So then at this point, the Chief Gillespie thinks that they might have a suspect who's a little bit more viable than Tibbs just sitting at a train station.
Yeah,
So
he doesn't get a call.
he gets a call.
And he's like, somebody's on the run.
Right, and so and then it just cuts to this like Sweet Sweetback's badass song "Run" marathon sequence where this white dude is like running through the woods and just trying to run across the bridge from Mississippi to Arkansas, trying to get away. And of course he's running, so he immediately seems guilty.
Right.
Which is topical to today's whole thing because it's like, don't run. Why would you run if you're not guilty? Like, because you're chasing me
Right.
and I'm afraid of police officers? Like, yeah, I'm a run.
And I have to cross this magical border so that as soon as I cross into another state, you can't touch me, base!
I mean, it was basically, it really kind of was that. Like, there's the bridge between Mississippi and Arkansas, and it was like as if he crossed over and was like, ollie, ollie, oxen free. Like, that's not a thing. They could just hit you with their car and drag your ass to the other side of the bridge. What are you talking about? But it was kind of funny. It was like a Simpsons skit. Like,
Right, like that's.
we made it back to Springfield from Shelbyville. Like, no. Like, guys, they would just have called the police in Arkansas. I'm like, could you just grab that guy? Like, cool, thanks, all right.
What do you need him for?
Murder?
He may have murdered somebody.
Like, oh, look, clink, we got him. Here you go. Bye, good night, everybody. No, it was kind of funny that it was like a safe base. Like, no, the bridge is not lava, and Arkansas is not land. Like, this is not how it works. So they chase this guy down. And this is one of the cinematography points that you were making that I dug, which is they show the guy running, he gets on the bridge, and the camera is far away. And it zooms in slowly as he's trying to make it across, which was a cool shot. Like nowadays, they would have done that with a drone, you know. Like, but it was kind of neat. But he just stops. How did he keep running? Like, Gillespie's car just gets closer to him, and he's just like, all right.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
I'm almost to home base, Arkansas. I almost made it.
He could have just clipped you with his car.
You could have tried. No, dude, you'd have. Yeah, I'd have zigzagged, man. I'd have made sure his car hit the embankment, and I'd have gone. I feel like I could outrun a cop in a car on a bridge. Like, I think I could.
You feel like you could do that?
I feel like you have a healthy opinion of your abilities.
I do. What? Almost superhero level. No, just from the zigzagging thing, I feel like I could.
It's not a crocodile. Like, he's not gonna, oh, he's zigging this way, let me turn my car this way.
Why is it hard to believe that after looking
And you're on a bridge.
Yeah, but there's
You don't have
part.
much space.
Hey, no,
There's a part like that you could step up on. That's where he was.
This nigga.
I would have made it, dude. I would have made
Nigga
it.
thinks he could juke a car. Go get a Heisman to a cop car. Like, you can't get me.
Look, if I know the police force that I've been dealing with in the beginning of this movie, I think I could have done that. These guys aren't the best. They're not the best and the brightest, okay? That's all I'm saying. I probably could have done it. I believe in myself, and that's important. So he catches him. He catches him on the bridge. And then we get a scene of Tibbs, who is still at the police station. He meets with Colbert, the victim's wife. And he's like, she's like, no one will tell me what happened to my husband. Is he hurt? Is he okay? Or whatever. And Tibbs just closes the door and is like, your husband is dead. He gave no fucks about giving that news. It was hilarious. He has terrible bedside manner. Like, he really does. He's the only straight shooter in the entire movie. But I just thought it was like, your husband is dead. Like, oh, well, thanks.
Like, wait, what?
Like, you're not going to sugarcoat it? Like, man, if you could sit down, we'd like to talk. Yeah, gone.
She's all overcome. She's like, oh my God, it's so hot in here. And he's just looking like,
have a seat.
no, it isn't. Like, sit down. I feel perfect.
The air conditioner's
It's a perfectly cool night, 75 degrees in here. Like, oh, all right.
She was so upset, understandably. And so he tries to like reach out to her. He turns his like human button on, and he's like, allow me to console you. And she's like, ooh. She's like, I'm sad. I'm upset. She's still black. Like, let's not get carried away, Mr. Tibbs. Like, just calm down. Which I thought was very funny. And so they come in, Barney Fife crew comes in, they're like, yeah, we got this white boy. And they're so funny. They might as well have been pulling like a Yosemite Sam moment. They're like shooting guns. Like, they're so happy. They're like, we got him. He was running out of town. It was great. He couldn't outrun a car. It was crazy. And so they bring him in. They're like, yeah, we got this guy. This guy Harvey Otis. And so Tibbs is like, let me see your hands there, Harvey. And he like puts his hands out and he's kind of like checking his wrist or whatever. And he realizes that Harvey is left-handed or is right-handed.
He's left-handed.
He's left-handed, and the killer was actually clearly right-handed.
How did he realize he was left-handed? That's what I didn't understand.
Like, that was like black people magic. He was just like,
because I'm sitting
like he just kind of like
twice.
Yeah, he kind of like felt his wrist and he was like dominant.
Like, did he jerk off with his left hand?
Right.
Like,
what happens if you're
like this one seems stronger.
What happens if you're right-handed but you jack off with your left hand? Like,
that throws your muscle distribution off.
Is that how you like fail? Is that like how you fool a lie detector? You know what I mean?
It's not a lie if you believe it. So
I
yeah, I didn't
weird.
really.
I was like, how the fuck does he know he's left-handed?
I mean, it was literally, he just did this. He was like, you're left-handed. And then that was it.
Why do you sound like
I don't know, because that's what he sounds like. That's what he sounds like. So
man, Quimby and shit.
So he realizes that that Harvey's left-handed, and so because they found Harvey running out of town, and he had Culber's wallet on him, they're like, nailed it, case closed, done deal, right? This is definitely the guy. And I mean, look, to their credit, I would also think that.
Incredibly suspicious.
Yeah, no, dude, you're shaky. So, the victim's wife and Gillespie and Harvey are in Gillespie's office, where Harvey's like, "Look, I didn't do it. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry your husband was killed. My bad. Like, or not my bad, but like, I'm sorry that happened. But I just picked up his wallet. Like, I saw him laying there. I just grabbed his wallet like a scumbag and didn't even call the police. I just broke out with."
I thought he was drunk. Sorry, I didn't know he was dead.
Like, yoink! He took that wallet. So Harvey's taken out of the office, and then the remaining two characters walk out into the main area, and the other cops are like, "Tibbs over here thinks Harvey's innocent," and then Tibbs gives his whole he's left-handed. The killer hit from so many degrees and all this other stuff. So we have that clip because it's actually important, and it's the big statement of the movie.
I want you to take Mrs. Colbert over to the funeral parlor, and Wood, you run Virgil down to depot.
Virg here, Chief. He thinks that Harvey's innocent.
Well, I'll be damned. Could I talk to you about it in private?
No, you can't talk to me about it in privacy because I got Colbert's wallet right here in my hand. We took it from Harvey Overs. You don't think he gave it to him, do you?
I don't know, but Overs could have come along after the crime, found it, picked it up. I don't know.
That's what the boy said he did.
Well, I'm sorry, man, but I say different.
Well, when I examined the deceased, it was obvious that the fatal blow was struck from an angle of 17 degrees from the right, which makes it almost certain the person who did it is right-handed.
So what?
Old Harv's left-handed, Chief. Everybody in town knows that.
Yeah, that's what we figured out, Chief. Harvey's a lefty, uh-huh.
Well, you're pretty sure of yourself, ain't you, Virgil? Virgil, that's a funny name for a nigger boy that comes from Philadelphia. What do they call you up there?
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Mr. Tibbs! Well, Mr. Wood, take Mr. Tibbs, take him down to the depot, and I mean boy like now.
Have the FBI lab send you the report on this. Not that it'll make any difference.
I'll take that.
Oh, you won't. I'm sending it in, personally.
My God. What kind of people are you? What kind of a place is this? My husband is dead. Somebody in this town killed him. I want you to find out who.
So from there, obviously that's the famous scene.
I like how Sidney Poitier was black as shit, right? And he his inner angry Negro almost came out in that scene. Like when he tried to, and then you saw
He was
him
almost shaking,
right, and then you saw him calming down, like
this guy's an actor
woosah,
too.
like woosah, like I gotta suppress the Black Hulk, like, I gotta, but yeah, man, and then when he's pissed, like his words just come out wrong, like they call me Mr. All right. Calm down. Don't Hulk out.
Like, it's in the script. He called me a little nigger boy because it's in the script. I'd be like, can we change the line, please? I can't deal with that.
You want to know? All right, here's an interesting piece of trivia. Sidney Poitier insisted that the movie be filmed in the North because of an incident that he and Harry Belafonte had where they were almost killed by members of the KKK during a visit to Mississippi. See, the movie wasn't filmed in Mississippi. It takes place in Mississippi.
Where was it filmed, do you know?
Sparta, Illinois. Nevertheless, the filmmakers and the actors did venture briefly into Tennessee for the outdoor scenes of a cotton plantation, because cotton plantations in Illinois.
That scene was...
I'm like, what year is this?
Thank you, dude. We'll get there. I was just like, come on, man.
Sidney Poitier slept with a gun under his pillow during the production in Tennessee.
God damn, really?
Porter received death threats from local racist thugs, so the shoot was cut short, and they had to return to Illinois.
Jesus. You can't even do a movie about shit. Hey, black people, why don't you come to the South? Nah, bro, I can't do that. I'm good.
Like, he was super pissed in this episode, in this scene. Like, it looked like he was legitimately angry.
Yeah.
Like,
how many takes did that go? They're like, you better get this right in the first take, Rod Steiger. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna listen to you call me a little nigga boy.
Legitimately wanted to choke the shit out of him.
like, nah, man, we can't do this 3 times. No. So in that scene, you saw Tibbs holding like the package. So it's all the medical results for the examination. And so Gillespie's like, no, I don't want you to turn it in because it proves that this guy's innocent and that we might have to do real police work. So like, I was very confused as to how that works. But Tibbs refuses to give it to Gillespie to turn in because Gillespie would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to turn it in. Fucking trash. Like, who cares? I'm going to railroad this white dude and just like move on with my day. I don't have time to be thinking and policing and whatever else. This is Mississippi. I don't know if you know that. So he puts Tibbs in jail. I mean, the jail like right downstairs. He puts him in jail for withholding evidence in a case. Which I never knew that when you arrest somebody for withholding evidence, they're allowed to just hold the evidence in jail with them. They just get to take
still keep the evidence.
I was like, I don't think
that's not how that works at all.
I was like, all right, well, go ahead, Mississippi. I see you. Because you can just be like, I'm gonna put you in jail for holding evidence. No, give it to me. Oh, look, I dropped it. I lost it. Yeah, you're out now. Case closed. We're done. Arrest that guy. Because that's how it works down there. And so they also do another curious thing. They put Tibbs in the same cell as Otis or as Harvey. There's like, you like him so much. Here, why don't you share a cell with him? It's like, well, I don't like the guy. I'm just saying the guy didn't murder someone. But whatever. 6 on one hand, half a dozen the other, I guess. And so while he's in the same cell with Harvey, Harvey does the classic thing that all racists do with black people, which is, "Ew, get away from me. Oh, you can help me? Hey man, we can be best friends." Like it's a turn in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing wearing them white man clothes?"
Right, that's like a suit.
Hey, back then
I'd have been like, "What the fuck you doing wearing nigga clothes?" What the fuck?
You look like a bum.
He looked like a hobo. Like, get the hell out of here.
But it was funny because he's basically insults him, and then immediately he's like, "Well, actually, I'm your only help." And he's like, "Oh, hey now, so can we chat for a second?"
Mr. Tibbs. That's what I hear they call you.
Yeah, like immediately he was like totally fine with it, which I thought was funny. I'd be like, "Oh, really? Go sit down over there. Don't talk to me."
He was kind of giving him that look because he just let him talk. He was sitting there like,
Now we're best friends. I see how it is.
I'm the only one that can help you. And then his whole stance changed because he was like chilling on the bed after he was.
Yeah. That was a very Denzel Washington moment.
Funny black as shit, yo.
It was funny as hell. Like as the scene went on, he just got more comfortable.
Like, I'll be fine. You'll be in this cell for a long time. I'm good. So Harvey makes a plea to Tibbs, and he's like, "Look, man, I didn't do it." And so Tibbs like checks under his fingernails or what have you, and asks him some questions about where he was, timing-wise. And basically, Harvey said that he was shooting pool till like 1 o'clock in the morning. So, according to Tibbs's timeline as to when the person, when Colbert was killed, Harvey couldn't have done it. And so when he checks under his fingernails, he notices that he has dry pool chalk underneath, and not like dried blood, which you would have if you killed a person or something.
Yeah, because pool chalk is red. Like, how did they think that was blood?
Right. Again,
They didn't look.
No, yeah, they didn't really
They
examine
didn't
him
do
at all.
anything.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, he's running. He's got his wallet. He did it.
That was
That
it.
was it. Literally. I'm pretty sure people still get thrown in jail for that today.
Yeah. You
Look,
get it.
they had more evidence against Harvey than they had against most of the black people who get murdered nowadays. Like, easily more. Well, at least he had the wallet of the person who was killed.
Yeah.
You know? Which, you know, obviously isn't good either. So then Gillespie is talking to somebody and ends up reducing Harvey's charges from murder down to theft. Because he's like, maybe this black guy's right. And he can't just admit it. He just does things behind Tibbs's back. Like, you could give him credit for, like, no. Keep him down there for another half hour. And so then they were basically done with Tibbs, like, put his ass back on the train and just, like, fucking move on and try to figure this out for ourselves. But Colbert, the victim, his wife, is like, look, you need to put, quote, that Negro police officer back on this case because he's the only one who knows what the hell he's doing. I was like, you could just call him a police officer if you wanted to show respect.
No, she wanted to make sure you knew
exactly
which one.
Well, it was easy to find us.
Yeah, no
It
kidding.
felt like a sore thumb. So then, basically, Gillespie is talking, I think, to Wood, and he's like, or no, he's talking to a woman who works for Colbert's factory, and he's like, look, we'll put Tibbs on the case like she wants. He's like, if it works out, cool, we find the guy. If it doesn't, we'll just blame it on Tibbs, and it'll be her fault for making us deal with him. So the only reason why they're using him is so that they can, again, get a cop out, basically. Yeah. So then there is. So Tibbs is now at the train station. Wood has dropped him off, and in that meantime, Gillespie has talked to Colbert's wife about bringing him back. So Tibbs is getting ready to bounce for the second time, right? By the way, this becomes a pattern. I'm gonna go to the train station. Are you? Are you? So Gillespie goes to the train station to convince Tibbs to stay in Mississippi to help with the case for the second time? I think it's the second time at this point.
Yeah.
But it will not be the last. So here is that clip.
Any reason why you have to leave today?
Lots of reasons.
What would you say if I asked you to stay for a while?
No.
This town needs a factory, Virgil. Colbert come down from Chicago to build it. I hear they're gonna hire 1,000 men. Half of them be colored. You know what that means?
Probably got him killed.
That's what Mrs. Colbert thinks. She wants us to catch her killer. No killer, no factory. Well, that's a lot of jobs for a lot of colored people. You follow me?
I'm going home, man.
They're your people.
Not mine. Yours. You made this scene.
What do you want me to do? You want me to beg you? Is that what you're after?
Look, I've had your town up to here.
Boy, it would give me a world of satisfaction to horsewhip you, Virgil.
Yeah, my father used to say that. Even did once or twice.
It will not enough to suit me. Now, you listen to me. Just once in my life, I'm going to hold my temper. I'm telling you that you're going to stay here. You're going to stay here if I have to go inside and call your chief of police and have him remind you of what he told you to do. But I don't think I have to do that, you see? No, because you're so damn smart. You're smarter than any white man. You're just going to stay here and show us all. You got such a big head that you could never live with yourself unless you could put us all to shame. You want to know something, Virgil? I don't think that you could let an opportunity like that pass by.
That is my second favorite scene in the movie. Like, it is because it is 100% accurate to exactly my response if I was him. I'm like, I could not give up the opportunity to show them up. I wouldn't. I could not. Like, even in Sparta, Mississippi, where you know the chance of getting murdered is like 87%. Like, wait,
I'd have done the same
in the
shit.
racist South, I make more money than the chief of police. I'm clearly smarter than even the doctors when it comes to medical issues. Oh, step aside, Butch. I got this, dude. Get out of here, dude. Absolutely. I'd be showboating the whole time. By the way, he mentioned how much he made. I did the math on that. He made like $8,400 a year.
Ooh. When does this take place?
1967.
Like when
I know the movie was shot then, but
I mean, unless they say it's normally present day of the time.
yeah, 120, like $167 a week is what he made.
$8,400. And he was making more than the chief of police in Mississippi. So what was he making? $6,000 a year? Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I
He's
wouldn't
so
have left.
angry.
I'd have been like, "You right." Just got in the car.
Yeah, dude. Like that scene was. It is completely accurate. Like, I know I'm smarter than all of y'all, and I'm gonna prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it right in their face. I totally get that. Yeah. Do you ever have that sort of situation where you realize that you're being underestimated as a black man or as a black person in general, and you have an opportunity to kind of showboat, and you do?
So are you asking, have we ever been petty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Racially petty.
Yeah. Oh, all the time. Absolutely.
At least you're honest.
Absolutely.
I'm not petty.
Okay. Do we need to pause this?
What?
Do we need to pause this so you can clear your mind? You've clearly lost it.
Nah, at any given opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, I love being underestimated.
Oh,
I fucking love it.
I would prefer that you do.
You know what I love more than being underestimated? Being right.
Oh, that's my favorite pastime.
Oh my God. Like, I get hard when I'm right. When I win an argument with my wife, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Let's have another one.
Let's have another argument.
Where you're obviously wrong and I am not. Well, it's so rare. Like, it's so rare to win one, so it's like, relish it.
And the thing about me is I don't get in arguments that I know I can't win.
See, that's petty. That's petty.
Or maybe I'm petty as shit. Yeah. But I'm like,
Cheers, what do you think about that? No, you're right.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
But like, if I know I'm right, we're going to have an argument.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But I don't get into arguments that I know I cannot win.
Okay.
Like,
Don't make bets that you know you're going to win.
I'm not too sure about this, so I'm going to just leave it alone. But if I know I'm 100% right, nope. You're not going to win an argument with me. It's not going to happen.
I will literally bet. If you ever hear me say, "Do you want to bet?" don't take it.
That's
Accept the fact that I am right.
Yeah.
And I won't even. Yo, I bet you $1,000. No, I bet you $20. Because that's just enough money to be like
significant.
Right.
Like,
to be like,
because if you lost, you driving home, you're like, you dumbass. Why did I bet $20? Now I can't even have Chipotle on this. Yeah, that's significant. But yeah, that whole showboating thing, I appreciated that moment because it was like, yeah, of course, I would. I do. But some people would be like, I will take the high road. Me knowing that I'm right is enough. I'm like, no. You knowing that I'm right is more important. Right. Way more important.
Me knowing that I'm right don't help anybody.
Yeah, right. I already knew.
I know I'm right. But if you don't know that I know that you know that I'm right, fuck you. That's worthless. This information that I have inside me is worthless.
Right.
Exactly.
I need to share it.
I have to partake the information upon you.
You're doing them a favor.
Yes.
By leading them out of their ignorance. You're
the Moses to their like.
It would be wrong to not do it.
Yes, you can't leave people in the dark. That's
absolutely
right.
All right, we're all in.
So we're.
I just really like that scene because him taking that moment to just be like. Let me just tiptoe over your
right. He looked like a kid, like kicking rocks and shit. Like,
you're right.
Shucks, you got me.
You got me. It was wonderful. So Gillespie does something that I thought was it was him trying to be nice, but again, this is one of those like tacitly racist moments where he's like, "Oh, well, you're gonna stay in town. I'll leave you with a black family, just a random black family. I don't know. You guys are probably cousins or something, like whatever." And so he just drops them up, and Tibbs is like, "Hello." It was just so bizarre to me.
Like he was the mechanic?
Yeah, it was just a black mechanic and his family. And it was funny because the mechanic is kind of like, "Do you have a place to stay?" And he's like, "No, I don't." You can stay with us. I was like, yeah, that's some black people shit. Like it is. Like black people look out for other black people anywhere in the world. Like it's true.
The mechanic kind of looked like the Geechee from Soldier Story. Like if you fell on hard times.
I thought he had the same. At first I thought it was Jim, you know when like Jim Brown was in The Running Man, where he had that like the same haircut that was like going gray, high top fade. I was like, at first when he slid from under the car, I was like, bro. I was like, oh no. But yes, he did look like the Geechee from Soldier Story. It could have been like it's the same. It's in the Ned Jewison extended universe, so it could have been him. So then Tibbs goes to see Culber's wife and kind of like, "Does your husband have any enemies?" And she basically was like, "Yeah, he kind of does. This guy Endicott, who runs the Endicott cotton farm in 1967, picked by black people." I was like, you couldn't even sprinkle in some white people for effect to like help us out a little bit.
Oh, I think it had a tremendous effect on me.
Look, my favorite scene in the movie. It was. Whew, I could play it twice. So Tibbs goes to look at Culber's car and sees that there's blood in the passenger seat of Culber's car, and it's like, aha, that means that Culber was likely driven in that car after being beaten up or killed, and not just killed right where the body was found. And then he also finds some sort of stuff that goes into plants and some like sticks, which was the bottom of a cotton plant. So he's like, I'm going to find out what's going on. And so he starts to have these thoughts of like, all right, this has got to be tied to Endicott, who runs this cotton farm. So I wrote Tibbs and Gillespie head to a cotton farm, in parentheses, Like, it is such a Mississippi Southern thing. And it's like, I mean, they might as well have been playing like Go Tell It on the Mountain as they drove up to this cotton farm. I was like, come on, man. Like you said, like, what year is it? Like, it's 1967. Like,
yeah.
Like, we have the right to vote, like, at that point. And it literally looks like a scene out of slavery. Like, it literally does. And you're just like swing low, swing. I'm like, God damn, like, has anything changed since, like, you know, like,
did civil rights start here?
Right, exactly. Like, not enough.
Probably not.
That's why we're still marching. So Tibbs and Gillespie meet with Eric Endicott, who is the runner of this plantation. And it's an interesting scene because Tibbs is talking to Endicott, and he's like, oh, I really appreciate flowers and stuff like this, because they're in his greenhouse. And Endicott's like, oh, this Negro is learned. He's worldly. He's seen a flower before that's not a cotton plant.
He's a credit to his race.
In 1967. I cannot stress that enough. It is not 1864. And so it's interesting because Tibbs and Endicott are having this sort of like, kind of like a little bit of an elitist conversation, where Gillespie is sitting there,
like, I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers are talking about,
like
right
chewing his cud, and he's like a hick, right? And he's just like, yeah, sure is hot out here, and so he's just sitting there as these two guys are having a conversation, and so then Endicott is talking about the flowers, and Tibbs sees that the flowers grow in this same sort of grassy material that he found in Culber's car earlier, and he's like, he has that look about like, like I figured it out, And so he makes the point of saying to basically letting the cat out of the bag that they're actually there because they think that he might be a suspect. Mm-hmm. So we have that clip, so we'll play that now.
Well, your attitudes, Mr. Endicott, your points of view are a matter of record. Some people, well, let us say the people who work for Mr. Colbert might reasonably regard you as the person least likely to mourn his passing. We were just trying to clarify some of the evidence. Was Mr. Colbert ever in this greenhouse, say last night about midnight?
Gillespie? Yeah. You saw it. I saw it. Well, what are you gonna do about it? I don't know. I'll remember that. There was a time when I could have had you shot.
The level of balls, man, to backhand anybody, but to backhand the cop, like, dude thought it was fucking 1905 in Mississippi. Just backhand Tibbs. Tibbs was like, I'm from Philly. Hell no. That was one of the, like, I texted Micah after I watched it. I was like, there was a scene in this movie, because you hadn't watched it. I was like, there's a scene in this movie. I was like, how was this not the scene that people talked about instead of the Mr. Tibbs scene? Because that was awesome. Like, it's like, no, dude, I'm from Philadelphia, the North. We don't take that shit up there. He just backhands this rich guy right in the face. It was I almost stood up and clapped when I watched it.
So, two things, right? One.
You want to play it again?
Yes. I mean, we could.
That was great.
One, Sidney Poitier looks like a woke, like, newscaster. You know what I mean? He's just like, there was one clip of a newscaster and he was like, and for Channel 11, this is Curtis Jackson, and then something happened, like a bug or something, like, oh shit, nigga, get this fucking bug away from me, man. That's the vibe that I got from him.
Like, he can snap at any minute.
Yeah, man. It's like, well, we just want to talk to you because you might be a suspect. Nigga, the fuck?
His face was so legit angry. It was like as if that wasn't in the script for that guy to do. It was like, what the fuck?
And two, according to Sidney Poitier, Tibbs' reaction to reaction slap to Endicott was not originally in the script, nor was it in the novel.
See?
Sidney Poitier insisted that Tibbs slapped Endicott back and wanted a guarantee that scene would appear in every print of the film.
Dude, Sidney Poitier is the coolest dude ever. That is awesome. I love that. Like, it wasn't a script. No, it needs to be in the script. And I need a guarantee that it is in every release of this film. And it should be.
I stand by my product.
I stand by these slaps. I do.
Now, that was ad-libbed by him? Or he just added it, he just put it in the script?
He said that the reaction has to happen. So it wasn't ad-libbed. Well, I guess
they added it in,
but they added it in. Like, it wasn't like, and then, like, oh shit, I didn't know he was gonna do that.
I wish that's how it was.
I wish it was ad-libbed.
Look, a legitimate reaction.
Endicott is a tremendous actor because he looked like he was about to start crying.
I think he did about this. I think he was about to start crying.
I think he did cry, dude. Because I was watching. I was like, is this dude crying?
He was.
Like
at the very end of that scene, when the butler left, he turned around and he started crying.
He's like,
I need a gift for that, man. I need a gift for those two slaps. I need a gift of just like it was not return in kind. It was return plus interest. Like, it was.
because the one guy slap was it was just like,
Oh shit!
don't disrespect me. Tibbs was like, oh hell
Right.
no.
Like Endicott slap was the slap that you give if you're about to start a duel.
Right,
Or with
exactly.
a glove.
You're like, no.
And Sidney Poitier slap was the slap that you give if that bitch ain't got your money. Like
Right.
that's,
It was like, did you learn this from Ice-T? I feel like he might have. But that was a perfect return back. And look, a backhand is a level of disrespect that is far worse than an open hand smack. It's just like, I don't even have time to turn around. Like, it's convenient.
Yeah, that was a trip. I'm like,
I burst out
my
laughing.
ass off, dude. I was like, God damn.
I watched it twice. I literally, I was like, I need to see that again. That shit was funny.
I was like, well, this is the scene.
Yeah, I was like, you'll know it when you get there. You can't miss it. Like, you stand up and cheer for him, man. So Tibbs now is sure that Endicott has something to do with it because of the slapping incident, I'm sure. And then finding the cotton, pieces of cotton and then that other material. And it's obvious to other people that Gillespie is getting a little softer on Tibbs. And look, to Gillespie's credit, he didn't do anything about Tibbs slapping Endicott back. I mean, we didn't talk about that in the scene, which is Gillespie's response when Endicott's like, you saw what he did?
Yeah, I saw it.
And he was like, I saw it.
I don't know what you want me
That
to do
shit
about
was
it.
hilarious.
He's like, what are you going to do about it? Like, I don't know. You hit him first. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
you got the butler standing there, saw it too.
Look, Uncle Ben ain't gonna dime you out. Like,
Right.
Like Uncle Ben was shaking his head like, you just let that black dude slap you. Now I can't respect you.
Like I saw
quit.
it. Yeah, you saw it? Yeah, I saw it. What you gonna do about it? I just told you I saw it. I ain't doing a damn thing about it.
Nope. That shit was hilarious.
But
So
the argument they had outside, it's like, I didn't know you was going to slap a white man.
that's right.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, again, I feel like you've never visited Philadelphia before. That's how we roll up there.
Throw batteries at Santa.
So then we get there's a couple people who are like basically implying like, Gillespie, you getting a little soft on this black fella. Like, what's your problem? Gillespie's like, go fuck yourself. I'll do what I want. And then we get a scene of Tibbs driving in his car alone. And then all of a sudden, like classic Mississippi, a bunch of rednecks in the car just try to chase him off the road. And they're just like, hey, you're black. And they're just like attacking him for no reason. Like, not investigating anything they are doing, not involved in it at all. They're like, hey, there's a black man in a car. Let's get him. I was like, all right, well, again, what year is it? But actually 67 makes sense.
67, yeah.
So they sort of corner Tibbs, and he like gets out, and they're like in a factory, and it's Tibbs versus 4 rednecks in a like Royal Rumble sort of event.
Like they had the Terminator 2. I was like, why the fuck is this goddamn like steel factory? What's going on?
All cool things happen in steel factories. And so Tibbs has like a pipe, and he's like fending off these 4 rednecks I've got like. Again, this part was a little funny. Like, they had double dragon weapons. It was like one guy had like a chain, like a bat, a shovel. It was just like, it was like a video.
Yo, did you notice the Alex Jones looking dude in there?
Yo, he did look like Alex Jones.
I was like, oh shit, is that his father? Makes sense.
I mean, it might be.
But at the same time, I'm like, that's Alex Jones.
That's hilarious.
Shit.
Back in 1966.
Reckon Alex Jones only has so many uses out of that chain. He's got to make every swing count.
Yeah, you use it like 5 times.
Or else it'll disappear.
Yeah, it's gone. Those are double dragon rules. So then Gillespie like comes to Tibbs' rescue, and like
he
he's
didn't
kind of just
necessarily come to his rescue.
right, but he like,
That's enough.
Yeah, he like showed up, but he was already there, like watching it for a minute, like let's see what happens. See if he's as good at fighting as he is at talking.
He sure did stroll his ass over there, too.
Yeah, he took his good old time.
Like, all right, that's enough, guys.
And he's like, hey.
You've had your fun.
Almost beating up a black man to death. Like, thanks. So the one guy's like, as Gillespie's like walking over to Tibbs, he's like, nigga lover. And I was like, that's white people don't like that. Like, not 1967. They weren't a fan of that. And Gillespie's like, oh yeah, really? Come here. And just fucking punches the guy in the stomach. So now beat it. So that was really nice, and that was a wonderful bonding moment for them. And So then we cut to Tibbs and Wood retracing Wood's patrol the night that he found Culver. And so he's like, all right, let's start at the beginning. And so Wood drives him out to that diner that he was at originally. And he was like, yeah, I was hanging out here talking to this guy and named Ralph. And then I broke out and I did my patrol. And he's like, all right, cool. And so they go to leave to follow the patrol. And Gillespie drives up and he's like, all right, I'm going to ride with you guys, see what's what. And so the three of them are riding around, and Woods doesn't go down that road.
He takes a detour.
He takes a detour. He doesn't go down that road that he did to see the naked woman. And Tibbs calls him out. He's like, why didn't you go that way? It's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's like, sure you don't. And he's like, I'll be right back. And he just like walks down the street and then comes back, never says anything. And it comes out later. He's like, yeah, he went down that road because there's a naked white woman down there walking around with all the lights on. And he said it in such a like, you know why you were down there. Like, come on, man. Like, we get it. And it was just hilarious because he doesn't even say like, there's a naked woman. He's like, there's a naked white woman down there. Like, it's like, all right, like it is what it is. And it's just so funny. Like, he's just so matter of fact. I love his acting. So then Gillespie finds out that Wood had he goes to a bank because he starts to suspect Wood because they caught Wood in a lie about where he was going in his route. So Gillespie's like, aha, we caught him in a lie. That means he's guilty. I'm like, again,
That's not how that works.
like again, Gillespie, slow down on the police work, buddy, just a bit. And so Gillespie's like, okay, well, I caught him in a lie, so I'm gonna go to the bank and like do some due diligence there. So he goes to the bank and he like has the bank manager pull up Wood's account, and he's like, oh yeah, he keeps like normally about $28 in the account. That's what he opened it with. Gillespie's like, I didn't ask you what he opened it with. I'm asking about yesterday. Like, what the fuck? Like, what conversation are we having? Everyone in this town is stupid. And they like really are. And so he's like, oh, it turns out he made a $600 deposit the other day. And Gillespie's like, nailed it. I got it. I got this guy. Dead to rights. And so he comes back to the police station and he has Woods arrested. And he's like, look, it's there. And, Tibbs comes in and he's like, why the hell do you think it's Wood? Like, the hell are you talking about? And he's like, because we found that wallet and it had $300 in it, and Gillespie just made a deposit or cashed a check for $900 the other day, and now Wood has $600. Like, so he clearly was either paid to do this or like robbed him or what have you, right? So Tibbs is like, it still seems a little suspect, a little weird. And so then, all of a sudden, Dolores Purdy, the naked white woman down the road, comes in, her and her brother, and her brother's like, Wood, Officer Wood knocked up my sister. At first I thought this was his girlfriend, but he's like, he knocked up my sister, and I'm here to kick his ass because she's only 16. I'm like, this woman is like 38 years old playing this role. She is not 16 at all. And so even, I like how in 1967, they knew about statutory rape laws, but in 2016 Germany, it's cool for a 15-year-old girl to run off with a college student. I'm just saying, just to connect the last two movies we've done. So they're pissed off that she's knocked up with Sam Wood's baby. Meanwhile, he's in a cell. And so Dolores goes and sits and tells Gillespie and her brother, and then Tibbs walks in, tells a story about how her and Wood got together. This might be the weirdest kinky shit I've ever heard. She's like, oh, he used to come by my house when I'm walking around naked, and I was sitting on the porch, and it was really hot out. I'm like, I guess that's why you were naked, because it's Mississippi and it's 1,000 degrees. And she's like, and then he said, do you know where the coolest place in town is? It's a cemetery. Like, what? Like, is that a pickup line? Like, okay. And so he took me to the cemetery. He took me to the cemetery, and I got to lay my body on the cool tombstones. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the tomb? Like, this is what you're into? Like, all right.
That was very bizarre.
Like, you guys are banging on tombstones? Like, I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's wrong. Like, that's wrong, man. That's somebody's dead grandmother you're on, dude. Like, that ain't all right. Like, don't do that. Like, that's weird. So, obviously, her brother thinks that she's been raped, and she has been, like, according to the information that we have at this point. So, Tibbs, like, dips out. It was funny because there's a moment where they're all in Gillespie's office, and she's like, oh, yeah, then we got on the tombstones or whatever, and her brother's like, she was raped, and immediately Tibbs goes, peace, and just walks the fuck out. Just immediately. That shit was hilarious. He was like, nah, I'm not, I don't need to be here for this. Like, I'm a murder expert, not a rape expert. Gotta go. And he just walked out.
You missed the point where her brother just did not want Tibbs in there at all.
Oh,
even
yes,
he even knew he was a cop. He's like, I don't want this nigga in here to hear about my sister's sexual escapades.
Yeah.
Like, no, he can stay. No, he can stay. What's his name? Gillespie was like, no, what you gonna do? Shut the fuck up. he can be if he wants to. He's a cop.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going, like, you either leave, I'm gonna make you leave. I'm like, he's a cop. Like, what, are you gonna punch a cop?
I mean, look, rewind 5 minutes ago, somebody thought they could slap a cop in the face.
Yeah, but like,
boy, were you wrong.
You just can't hit a cop.
Yeah, can you imagine that scenario? I'm so privileged. I'm gonna hit a cop in the face. Are you insane? That is prime to go. I had probable cause to shoot him 47 times in the chest, Your Honor. Sorry. Like, yeah, you can't hit a cop, dude.
Right. He was like, I'm going to make you leave. I'm like, how do you expect to do that?
But I mean, I guess it goes to the whole point of like, that's how racist that time was. That as a white guy, I'm going to say I'm going to hit this cop, and you, a white cop, you're going to defend it because he's black. We're both white, even though you're both law enforcement. That's irrelevant. But we're both white, so that's enough of a no pun intended, a cop out for them. Like, I find that amazing.
Funny how it works that way and not the other way.
Not at all.
Yeah.
What's worse on average, treatment-wise? Treatment of black people by white cops or black cops? In my experience, it's black cops.
I mean, I don't have too many run-ins with cops to even give an educated guess.
Black
Terrence, you want to take this one?
Black cops. Yeah.
I feel like they have something to prove.
They have something to prove.
Like, no, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this kid.
Like, I haven't,
because I'm one.
They're assholes.
Yeah, I've had way worse interactions with black cops than I've had with white cops.
Like, I remember,
and not that that's been like hunky-dory anyway.
Well, I wasn't personally. I think I probably told the story, but we were driving on the New Jersey Turnpike, and black cop pulls us over, and he makes my father get out of the passenger side.
Yeah.
My mother's driving, and makes my father get out of the passenger side.
Yeah.
And my mother's flipping out, cursing him out and shit. My father's like, please shut the fuck up. I don't want to get shot out here. This is like 1989.
Yeah, they'll shoot me and leave me on the side of the New Jersey Turnpike.
Please shut up. He was like, shut the fuck up so we can get out of here. Just give me the ticket, whatever it is, so we can go.
You ain't shit, cop. You ain't shit. Like,
my mother's like, she got a filthy mouth.
Like, you ain't shit. Meanwhile, he's destroying your dad's needs with a baton. Like, you better tell him to be quiet, dude.
Has a very, very vulgar mouth, and she was just flipping out.
Understandable.
But she was pissed, but he's like, yo, please. Please. Just stop.
For the love of this nightstick, please. But yeah,
like,
I mean,
it was a black cop, and I'm like, why did you? I don't get it, man.
But I mean, it goes to that scene in Boys in the Hood, right? Where the black cop is like, you know, he treats, yeah, you think you tough. Like, that guy. And he's treating these black kids far worse. The white cop is like, damn, dog, take it easy. Like, they didn't do anything. He's like, I need to prove to you that I'm a cop more than I am a black man. Which, I mean, look at the Freddie Gray case, right? Isn't it like 4 black cops or 3 black cops and like 3 white cops? Or I think it's like maybe 4-3 or 4-2 white cops. Something like that. Something like that, but...
They all got off.
Yeah. No. Shocking news.
Right.
No offense, but if you're surprised that they got off of that Freddie Gray case, welcome to America, dude. Like, They let off four cops beating a black man on videotape with batons as if it was a fucking merry-go-round in the 90s. Of course those guys were going to get off. They didn't have any tape. So
It's crazy.
yeah, it's nuts. So at this point, Tibbs goes downstairs to talk with Harvey, who is still locked away, because he's like, so where would somebody get an abortion, basically, in this town if they needed to? And he's like, I sort of kind of know, but my buddy knows for sure. I think I know, but like, you got to ask my buddy. And so he's like, all right, I'll get you a cheeseburger if you hook me up with this guy's information and like tell that guy to come see me. So he does. So then Harvey knows that someone, Harvey knows about the person who might know about the abortion, and then Tibbs goes to the site of that new factory that Colbert was building. Gillespie shows up there as well, and he tells Tibbs why Wood couldn't have done it. Basically, like Wood was like, look, I got the $600 from like gambling or something like that, and Tibbs is like, look,
3 years to make that money or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tibbs could have made that in 4.5 weeks. So yeah, I guess be mad, stay mad. So Tibbs says like, look, Wood couldn't have done it because it would have taken somebody driving Colbert and dropping his body off, and he couldn't have done that and drive his police car at the same time. So it couldn't be Wood. So again, Gillespie is proven wrong on who killed this guy for the third time. 3 times a charm. So then Tibbs and Gillespie kind of share a moment as they're at Gillespie's shitty house, and they're like drinking bourbon or whatever. Like they're having the first real connection as human beings, and not just like cop, other cop, or like protagonist, slightly not protagonist character. And it's a nice moment between the two of them, and they both kind of talk about like loneliness and stuff like that on the job and everything. And then the second there's like any sort of human connection, Gillespie's like, nah, you black, and I ain't black, so hell no. Because Tibbs kind of says like kind of implies like, oh, you know, like I kind of pity your situation of being like so lonely.
What does he say? He goes, you ever get lonely? He's like, no lonelier than you. And then he's like, fuck you. I don't need your fucking pity. Yeah, wait, I didn't even, what? Okay, I didn't mean it like that, but all right, you just got mad for no reason. Like I said, he goes from 0 to 100.
Yeah, he does, but I think
the whole movie.
Yeah, he does, and I think that goes to that whole like I might be poor and white and uneducated, but at least I ain't black. And like that, I mean, literally, that was a mindset back then. And look, it's kind of a mindset now. Shit. Right. So for them, or for Gillespie, I think he was like, oh, as lonely as you? Oh, hell no. Like, I'm still a white man. I'm not like making $100 a week. Right.
Don't call us equals.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally what that was in a sort of a roundabout way. So then Harvey's friend shows up and he's like, hey man, like, let me holler at you about this abortion information. You ever heard of Planned Parenthood? And so Tibbs runs off with him, leaving Gillespie's house after Gillespie like got pissed off for nothing. And so that guy tells Tibbs about this woman, Miss Bellamy, who does abortions for women in the town for $100 a pop. So, and she's a black woman, by the way. And so Tibbs goes to see Miss Bellamy about an abortion, and the woman's like, she like runs a store or something. And Tibbs is like, look, tell me who is paying for Dolores Purdy to get an abortion. And like right as they're having that conversation, Dolores walks in, and he's like, gotcha. Like, you're clearly here to get an abortion, because why the fuck else would you be here at like 11:30 at night and in a store that's closed? Right. So the woman didn't know what the guy's name was who wanted her to get the abortion, which is clearly the person that Tibbs is looking for. So she walks in, and then she sees Tibbs. She runs out, and then so from there, Tibbs runs out after her, and he grabs her, and then there's a guy next to a tree who pulls a gun, and he's like, let her go, and that's clearly the guy who knocked her up. And at this point, I'm like, still don't know who this guy is.
Who the fuck is that?
Right.
Yeah. And then that person steps from behind the shadows and makes his face fully seen, and it's actually Ralph from the diner in the beginning.
That filthy ass diner.
Yeah. So it's clear that Ralph wanted Dolores to get an abortion because he knocked her up, and just as that sort of comes to light, Dolores' brother and his redneck friends in the Plymouth who were chasing Sidney Poitier earlier show up, and they're like, got a new chain, I got 5 uses on it, and they show up and they're getting ready to like beat the shit out of Tibbs, and Tibbs is like, this guy is the one who knocked up your sister. He's like, look into your heart, you know it's true.
Like, check it out.
And so they're like, wait a minute. And so they get pissed off and they go after Ralph, and then Ralph immediately shoots Dolores' brother in the gut, killing him.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the guys were like, oh, there's a gun involved? Gotta go. Sorry.
Yeah, they all
Like, I'm a melee weapon type of guy.
He heard the bullet. He was like, whoop, gotta go. It was like fucking Captain Boomerang. Suicide Squad, like, deuces.
Yeah.
I'm out.
No time for that. And so they leave, and so Dolores' brother dies right there, and then you find out that Ralph confesses to Gillespie, like, yeah, you got me. I actually I hitched a ride with Colbert the night of the murder, and I was just going to rob him because he had a lot of money. I went to rob him. I ended up killing him by mistake, and then I just dumped the body. And so, dun, dun, dun. He's the bad guy, and then he gets hauled off to jail. And then we get a final scene, which is Virgil Tibbs getting on the train and Gillespie kind of being like, hey, you take care of yourself, man. And Tibbs is like, you do the same. And it's clearly they've reached a level of mutual respect. Like, yeah, thanks for fixing my problems 3 times in a row and helping us not put away an innocent man.
Thanks for doing
and
my
another
job.
one. And another one. So after 4 out of 4 tries, he finally got it right. And he didn't even do it.
I was about to say, he didn't do shit.
Nope. Virgil figured it out because Virgil was smarter than all of them.
And almost died
Yes.
3 times.
Hey, don't go to Mississippi,
Hey,
everybody.
it was worth it just to be like, told you I was smarter than you.
I mean,
Everybody
really.
already knew. Everybody already knew.
But again,
Prove it.
yeah, you got to prove it.
You got to prove it. Otherwise,
right.
what's the point?
Any parting words? Thoughts?
Really good movie. Really holds up.
Yeah.
And it was on somebody's list of like 1,001 movies you need to see before you die.
1,000.
Yeah, 1,000. But it is.
Seems a little extreme.
It seems a bit
Yeah,
excessive.
why don't you just say
yes.
1 million at that point? You see these
There's a bajillion movies you need to see before you die. But,
Have I seen 1,000 movies?
Yeah, you've seen it.
I'm sure you've seen 1,000
Yeah,
movies
I guess
by
so.
now. Included among the 1,001 movies you must see before you die, edited by Steven Schneider.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's really good, and I recommend people see it.
It's a good movie.
All right. So if you like what you heard, and you should have, you should click on that button in the corner there to subscribe on YouTube. If you're just listening, make sure you listen to us on Stitcher, iTunes. Of course, we also stream the shows on blackonblackcinema.com. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/blackonblackcinema. All right, guys, we will see you next week for another preview episode. Later.
See you.